Hare Krishna. So today we will have a short description on the life and teachings of Srila Prabhupada, and we will also look into his biography. So Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He is the last bona fide Acharya in the line of disciplic succession of Bamba Madhya Gaudiya Sampradaya, which is coming down originally from the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, down the line Brahma, and then Narada, Madhvacharya, coming down to Madhavendra Puri, Ishwar Puri, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 6 Goswamis, and then so on, and the last Acharya, the bona fide Acharya, is Srila Prabhupada. It was predicted in the Chaitanya Mangal by Lochan Das Thakur that पापी जो दी छाड़ी धर्म दूर देशे जाय मोर सेनापति भक्त जाइबे ताहाय. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling that my Senapati Bhakta will go abroad and preach to those souls who left this holy land of India and went to the western countries. So this is considered to be the prediction of Srila Prabhupada. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted that this Harinam Sankirtan should spread all over the world. Prithivite yata ache nagaradigram sarvatra prachara haibe moranam. And Srila Prabhupada actually did that. Srila Prabhupada appeared in this world in the year of 1896 in Kolkata, which was the then capital of India. His father was Gaur Mohan De, and Srila Prabhupada was initially given the name Abhay Charan De. From his childhood only, he was brought up in a Vaishnava culture. His father was a very great and pure devotee of Krishna, and he also wanted that his Abhay Charan should become a great devotee of the Lord, and he never wanted Srila Prabhupada to be some materialistic person. So from childhood only, the Vaishnava qualities and Srila Prabhupada's attraction for Radha and Krishna were prominent. He used to conduct his small Rath Yatra festival, and he used to invite all the neighbors, and they used to participate in this Rath Yatra, and then he used to distribute the prasadam. After that, later on, Srila Prabhupada graduated from the Scottish Church College, and then a revolutionary event took place in his life. In 1922, Srila Prabhupada met his spiritual master, Om Vishnupada Ashtottara Shata Srimad, His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami. And in the first meeting itself, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur instructed Srila Prabhupada that you are a English-speaking gentleman, why don't you preach the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over this world? Srila Prabhupada was enchanted with the personality of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Prabhupada put forward the argument that now India is under British rule, so it is more important to become independent first. But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur very boldly told that the only thing which is lacking in this world is Krishna consciousness, and that would solve all the problems. He told that we are always dependent. Today Britishers are ruling, and when we become independent, then different political leaders will rule us. So in that sense, we are always dependent, and mere independence or our so-called independence from the Britishers will not solve all our problems. The only solution to all the problems is Krishna consciousness. This Krishna consciousness is so urgent that it cannot wait for anything else. So therefore, you must preach this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada was mesmerized by all these statements, and from that day onwards, Srila Prabhupada accepted Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami as his revered spiritual master inside his heart. But then Srila Prabhupada was in the Grihastha ashram, so he executed the duties of the family life. Then later on, he went to Vrindavan, and he did intense bhajan there. He was chanting many rounds and reading scriptures and writing the translation of different Gaudiya Vaishnava literatures. Then in 1959, Srila Prabhupada accepted the sannyas or a renounced order of life. In Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada used to stay in the Radha Damodar temple near the Samadhi of Rupa Goswami. He used to pray intensely to our predecessor acharyas for their mercy to execute the instruction of his spiritual master. And with his intense bhajan, Srila Rupa Goswami was very much pleased with Srila Prabhupada. And one day, while Srila Prabhupada was taking prasadam in Radha Damodar temple, he had the darshan of Srila Rupa Goswami. And Srila Rupa Goswami assured Srila Prabhupada that you don't fear, you just go to the west and preach the message. We will be always with you and you will certainly become victorious. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave one more instruction to Srila Prabhupada also, that whenever you get some money, you print books. In Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada was preparing to fulfill these two instructions from his revered spiritual master. By his intense bhajan, reading scriptures, chanting, and praying vigorously from the predecessor acharyas. At the age of 69, Srila Prabhupada decided to go to the west to preach. He started for America in a cargo ship, and the ticket was arranged by Srimati Sumati Morarji, who was the proprietor of a ship company, and the name of the cargo ship was Jaladuta. Srila Prabhupada started, and in the journey Srila Prabhupada only had his set of Srimad Bhagavatams, which he has translated, and his intense faith in the holy name and Krishna. And he only had about $7 or 40 rupees with him. In the journey, Srila Prabhupada had 2 big heart attacks, and he was praying to Krishna that if another heart attack comes, then surely he is going to die. And in the dream, Srila Prabhupada saw that Krishna, with his all 10 Vishnu avatars, is actually protecting the ship, and they assured that they are always with Srila Prabhupada and they are protecting him. After about 37 days, Srila Prabhupada reached the Boston harbor, and by seeing the Western civilization, he was praying to Krishna that how he is going to preach them. So he wrote a very nice song. The song is Bado Kripa Koile Krishna Adha Mera Pati, that Krishna has done a very great mercy upon him. But my dear Lord Krishna, how will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their hearts, they will certainly feel engladdened and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. Then it was a very great struggle which Srila Prabhupada did in the US. He was utterly alone. He had no money with him, no friends, no followers, and his health also was not very good. He was totally clueless what to do, and he was just praying to Krishna that you have brought me here, so you must have some plan. Please help me. Srila Prabhupada oftentimes used to go to the ship company to ask for when is the next ship back to India. But the clerk at the ship company asked Srila Prabhupada that, Swamiji, you always ask for when is the next ship, but never you actually go back. So that was the determination of Srila Prabhupada. At the age of 69, he decided to execute the instructions from his spiritual master, and he did not care about his own comfort. He was an old man. He could have stayed in Vrindavan and spent rest of his life with nicely doing bhajan in Vrindavan. But he actually took the risk to execute the instructions of his spiritual master. So he was struggling very much. There was no proper fooding, no proper shelter, and he was in a very, very miserable condition. So one day Srila Prabhupada was chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the Tompkins Square Park, and some of the American boys who are called hippies, they were leading a very sinful life and they were breaking the regulative principles like anything. They actually got attracted to this transcendental sound vibration coming from the lotus lips of a pure devotee. And Srila Prabhupada gradually trained them, gave them classes, and Srila Prabhupada converted them into great Vaishnavas. The hippies were actually leading a very, very sinful life. The government also was tired of trying to rectify them, but Srila Prabhupada actually worked like the touchstone. By the touch of whose hands these hippies actually got transformed into great Vaishnavas with a high class clean habits. And Srila Prabhupada considered that these boys and girls were actually sent by his spiritual master to help him in the spreading of Krishna consciousness movement. Then Srila Prabhupada established and registered the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, or ISKCON, in New York in the year of 1966. He actually sent his trained devotees and his trained disciples to different countries across the globe to preach this message of Krishna consciousness, and they were very, very dedicated to Srila Prabhupada, and they actually did this Herculean task of spreading the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada actually circled the whole globe 14 times from 1966 to 1977. Within these 11 years, Srila Prabhupada established 108 centers of ISKCON across the globe. And now also the teachings of Srila Prabhupada is being propagated by the current members of the ISKCON society, and now we are having around 650 plus centers across the globe. Srila Prabhupada is always respected as the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness and the preeminent Siksha Guru of all ISKCON members for all generations. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said that Ek Bhagavata Bada Bhagavata Shastra Ara Bhagavata Bhakta Bhakti Rasa Patra. So there are two kinds of Bhagavatas. One is the Srimad Bhagavatam, the literary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and another Bhagavat is the pure devotee or the Acharya who lives by the principles of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srila Prabhupada was that actually the pure devotee and the Acharya who actually lived by the principle of Srimad Bhagavatam and preached the message all over the world. And by his mercy only now we can see this Hare Krishna is a household term. So he actually called this movement as Hare Krishna movement or Hare Krishna Andolan. Like it is a revolution against the deteriorated age of Kali Yuga and to re-establish the principles of Bhagavatam. The primary teachings of Srila Prabhupada is that he actually told to follow all members of the ISKCON society that they should at least chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra daily, and they should abide by the 4 regulative principles of no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex. At the same time, we must read the books of Srila Prabhupada to maintain our enthusiasm in the process of Krishna consciousness, which is so rarely achieved. Srila Prabhupada used to say that books are the basis, purity is the force, preaching is the essence, and utility is the principle. So actually ISKCON is like a boat, and Srila Prabhupada is like the captain of the boat, which can take us to the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from this ocean of nescience of this material world. And thus, remembering the sacrifice of Srila Prabhupada, it is our duty to always align us with the teachings of Srila Prabhupada and take the topmost facility of this wonderful boat of ISKCON. If we simply do that and follow the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, surely we can go to Golaka Brindavan or the abode of Krishna, back home, back to Godhead, and make our life successful. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.